Roizen case study is one which provides insight into the successful networking capability of Heidi Roizen. Heidi has had a successful career in which her role has varied over time, but her ability to use her network strengths have shown to be successful over and over again. After graduating from Stanford, Heidi was looking to start her career. She looked at Tandem for employment, however, she knew there were over 60 applicants for her position. Heidi reached out to her network and was able to be provided a contact for the person who was in charge of the hiring process. Once being given the information, she chose to call right away and speak with them personally. Within the short conversation on the phone, Heidi was able to engage her audience, which ultimately landed her the role. Heidi chose to leave to pursue a graduate degree. After her graduate degree, she decided to work with her brother on TeamMaker. Her networking was needed to help gain traction on TeamMaker. She attended conferences and became president of an association in her field. Heidi reached out to the press and convinced them to review and publish about TeamMaker. She used her outgoing personal nature to strike up a conversation that lasted with the people she networked with. Heidi chose to network with individuals which she found interesting and smart, not necessarily powerful as most would have. Heidi felt that you don't know where these people may be in the future and chose to keep them as a strong connection. This was an investment which would pay off over time instead of immediately. After the purchase of TeamMaker by Deluxe, Heidi stayed on with Deluxe for some time before leaving for an opportunity at Apple. At this time, Apple had lost significant market share and was looking to Heidi to help maintain confidence in their product throughout her network. She was an excellent choice for the position at Apple due to her extensive network. However, her time at Apple was significantly different to how she traditionally approached her networking. All the relationships she spent time building over the years would need to be tested, as now it was Heidi reaching out, asking them to trust her and Apple. Heidi was able to maintain the software company's support for both of them. Heidi's successful network at Apple had become known, and it was looked upon in more areas than her role. She became inundated from other initiatives looking for her help, and it quickly became too much for her to take on. She chose to leave Apple and focus on being a mentor capitalist. Instead of investing money in startup businesses, she used her talents to invest her time and knowledge into these startups. Heidi made it a point to not introduce people for the sake of introducing people. She took the opportunity to know both parties well enough. If she felt that both parties would win out from the introduction, then she would introduce them. This maintained a strong relationship with her network, as they are not being inundated with requests from her, but also showed that she valued their time and relationship. By only providing your network with individuals who are a strong fit, it creates a stronger bond. Over time, Heidi realized she was not able to impact the startup as much as she would have liked as a mentor capitalist. In order to grow her knowledge base more into the internet sector where she had interest, she decided to sign on with SoftBank Venture Capital on a part-time basis. Heidi was in charge of working with their current companies in addition to sourcing new ones. While sourcing for new ones, she was required to read countless proposals. This monopolized her time, however, she never gave up and changed who she was. After reading the proposals, she made it a point to always write back, even with a decline. This gave her an opportunity to suggest any improvements that they would need. This put Heidi in a greater position with all the people who reached out to her with their proposal. While they weren't accepted, they received valuable insight from Heidi. In addition, this maintained a positive relationship with Heidi, which could come back in the future if their paths crossed again. Over Heidi's career, it had become apparent that this was very likely to happen in the future. Heidi's career has provided her with power, influence, and networking success. Many studies have been done to learn about the way to successfully grow and use your network. The articles in this module have discussed some of them. Robert Cialdini describes 6 principles of persuasion in his article, Harnessing the Science of Persuasion. Many of these principles apply to Heidi and her work within her network. Heidi follows the principle of liking. Heidi is the type of person people genuinely like to speak with and enjoyed spending time with. This is evident by the countless dinner parties Heidi would host. Heidi also used to follow the principle of reciprocity. This is evident how she consistently chose to follow up with people's proposals that she had declined. Heidi knew her investment in these individuals would be something that could repay in the future. Brian Uzi and Shannon Dunlap, in How to Build Your Network, describe the process of mapping your network and the roles that certain people provide in your network. When reviewing these options, Heidi is considered a broker. Heidi has used her connections to bridge other groups together. When Heidi left Apple, she suggested many other Apple colleagues to join companies of her connections. This has helped people expand connections and bridge many groups together. Based on Adam Grant's book, Give and Take discusses the different types of networkers. Heidi would be someone who is categorized as a part matcher and part giver. Heidi overall has a very giving persona. However, at the same time, she understands that by giving too much, this could also backfire on herself and her contacts. The volume of giving would be too much for her workload, in addition to her network being inundated with references. Instead, Heidi decided to strategically match her giving. The matching wasn't meant to benefit her, but instead her matching was done to ensure that both parties would benefit by being introduced. This proved to be the best mixture for all parties involved. All these traits have made Heidi the successful networker that she is today. Thank you.